Hello everyone, welcome to the Let Go Room. My name's Lisa and today's class is about a slow flow. So we just want to begin the day, welcoming it in with a bit of gratitude, maybe just for arriving here on the mat today. So let's find our footing. We're going to find mountain pose just to begin with. So really planting those feet, opening up the toes. We'll try not to lock out the knees and keep them a bit flexy. We just want to keep a really nice, long, tall spine and drop our shoulders down. So if there's any little bit of tension in that neck, let's just bring a little bit of movement in there. So finding your mountain pose. We're just going to take the arms up and overhead, take hold of one wrist, and let's just lengthen through that side and actually tilt the body and look up to the sky if that feels good for you. You're going to need to engage your core here just so as we don't put the back in a compromising position. And changing wrists, let's take it over to the other side. Really shining that heart center up towards the sky. So you can put a bit of pull on that shoulder if it allows, so we can get a really cool side stretch right down there and then coming back to center. We're just going to start with a few rounds of breath. So really deepening that breath, puffing out the belly as we welcome in the new day. Let's breathe in, reaching up high. On the inhale, and exhaling, let's just come back through to heart center. And as we do a couple of more rounds, breathing in, deepen those breaths, really puffing out the belly. And as you exhale, release any of that old, stale air. One more time, breathing in. Just bending a little bit at the back if that feels good for you, and exhaling as you come back through to heart center. You can create an intention for your practice today. Might be something that you're working towards for the day or for the week or forever. Wherever you are, let's make our way to the top of our mats. And just finding those feet about hip width apart. So again, keeping a nice little bit of flex in those knees here. So let's breathe in deeply, reaching right up. And you're going to find a little mini back bend if that's good for you. Again, engaging it at the core before exhaling out. Let's just flow on down here. So hanging out here in our Uttanasana pose, it'd be really nice if our belly is making contact with our thighs here. So keeping a bend there. If you're super flexy, you can work on straightening out those legs and dropping any tension in the head here. Let's just let that go. And then right hand takes hold of left ankle. Let's take left hand behind us and just try to find a little wrap here. So again, let's let everything drain away. Bringing that breath deep into the body, nourishing as we start our day. Let's take left hand over to right ankle, taking right hand to the sky, and again, finding your variation of what feels good for you. One deep breath. And coming back through center, let's interlace the hands behind the back. And if there's any flexibility, you can just bring those hands up and over. Otherwise, we're just working towards drawing the hands away from the body. Warming up through those shoulders. Let's change the interlace of the hands to the other side. So the other thumb is going to be on top. Drawing shoulders and palms away and then tilting forward if you've got that space. If not, just take the movement that feels good for your body. A lot of blood rushing to the brain after spending time asleep last night. So releasing the hands. Let's try to take them onto the mat. And we're going to breathe in and find a bit of length here. So sit bones are opened up to the back of the room. We're trying to find a nice long spine and a neutral neck. And then back down we go into our forward fold. So let's have a little bit of a flow here. Breathing in, find that length warming through the spine nice and gently. And exhaling as we fold forward. Breathing in. And last time, breathing out. So with that bend in the knees, you might even be able to plant your hands at the top of the mat. And from here, we're just going to step back into a modified plank. So let's check out where our body's at. Our knees can be hip width apart. Our palms are underneath our shoulders and our elbows, they're nice and bouncy here. So coming into our modified plank, you can even bend through the knees and just try and test that out. As we bend in those elbows, let's just try and hug them in towards the body. Keeping our shoulders nice and safe from splaying out. So as we come on down onto our front from here, our elbows are hugging into the body. Beautiful. And again, as we gently warm through the body, let's find Sphinx pose. So elbows under shoulders, hands are nice and planted in the front of the mat. So our feet should be about hip width apart. Your hips are probably not as big as you think they are. So if you can have a little check there, we want to bring them in alignment with our body. And from here, let's just try to pull our body forward and releasing any tension here in the lower back. So this is a really nice lower back release. So from here, we can make our way into cobra if that feels good for you. So just check in with your lower back just to see if this is not crunching too much for you. And then from here, we're going to make our way back into a child pose, an extended child pose. So forehead making its way down onto the mat. We want to find that connection. And just knowing you can hang out here, this is a beautiful stretch for our quads, for our lower back, finding space there as well. Extending through the hands, we're dropping heart center down towards the mat as well. So from here, let's inhale and roll through to cobra. Counterposing that spine. And as we exhale back into child pose, let's deepen that here as we inhale deeply, finding your version of what feels good as we warm through the spine. Giving back to those bodies that support us through our daily lives. And then making our way up onto all fours. Let's curl through those toes here and make our way into downward facing dog. So again, let's check in with the body here. Our hamstrings might be really tight. So we're going to pedal it out here. So we want to keep a nice bend in the knees here and work that belly down towards our thighs. So if you're finding this is a lot for your wrists as well, you might like to walk your wrists back closer to the body. We're aiming to open the sit bones to the back of the room and then just press out of our wrists here. Dropping heart center down towards the mat, and we're dropping any tension at all in the neck here. So let's flow back down into child pose just for a beat. One breath. And then bending through those toes, finding your down dog here. Belly down towards the thighs. Pedaling that out if that feels good for you. As we warm up through the backs of the legs. All right, so from here, let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Hanging here in our forward fold, let's breathe in, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Breathing in, let's reach up towards the sky. Find that little mini back bend if it's available. And then coming back towards heart center. So we're going to join all of that together in a nice slow flow. So let's begin by making sure you're at the top of your mat. You've got a little bit of place there for your hands, planting through the feet, bending through the knees, finding your foundation. Spine is long and core is engaged here. So breathing in, find that reach. Keep that body nice and safe here. Exhale as we fold forward, hands are finding the mat, dropping any tension. Breathing in, finding a half lift. Planting hands as we exhale back into our modified plank here. So if you have a really strong practice, you can always come into full plank. So wherever your body is feeling like going today. And let's come on down into our cobra. Back to child pose just for a beat. And breathing in as we make our way into our down dog. Beautiful. Finding your breath. As we welcome in that day, let's walk our hands up towards the front of the mat. Breathing in, half lift. Finding that length before exhaling, dropping the body down. Breathing in as we reach up towards the sky. Exhaling as we come back to heart center. Let's go again, warming through the whole entire body as we salute the sun. Breathing in. Exhaling, folding forward. All tension melting before we breathe in, half lift. Planting hands, coming back into your plank. Rolling through into cobra, or just keep it nice and low if this is too much. And then back into child. So if you find child pose is quite challenging for you, you can always widen the knees here. And then let's make our way back into our down dog. Starting to really warm through the body here. Let's walk our feet up, make our way to the top of the mat. Let's breathe in, half lift. Exhale. Breathing in as you reach towards the sky. And exhaling as we come back through center. So let's pause and think about that intention that you created for your practice today. And let's go through that. We're going to add this time. So breathing in, reaching up. Your breath, your flow as you exhale down, folding, dropping tension. Inhale, half lift. Planting hands as we step back and make our way through into cobra or up dog. And let's meet this time in our downward facing dog. Find your breath here. So really press out of those wrists. We want to press to the back of the room, opening up the sit bones, keeping that nice bend in the knee here. So let's take our left foot and step it up to the front of the mat, planting through here, making our way up into our warrior one. So to have a little unpack of this, we're looking for a 90-degree angle. Our feet are pointed to the front of the mat. We're turning our hips forward and bringing the arms up. So if you've got any shoulder tightness here, just make sure you're not hugging in around the ears here and just drop any tension here. So let's just try to find our comfortability. So our weight should be evenly placed between the feet as we separate the mat almost. Taking a breath here, we're going to open up into warrior two. Hands come through heart center as we open up into our warrior two. So try to find your spinal alignment here. We're looking for a nice straight spine. Crown of the head makes its way up towards the sky. Check if your hands are kind of even here. And then we're going to turn up that front palm and reverse our warrior. So hand can just rest on the back of the leg there. Try to keep that bend in your knee here. Stretching and strengthening. Let's take our hands back onto the mat. Step back into plank. Your version. As we make our way through our flow, match your breath to your movement and we'll meet in downward facing dog here. Find your comfortability here, just for a breath. And then right foot makes its way up towards the top of the mat. So finding our alignment, making sure our feet are spacing between the mat, pressing that mat away, dipping into that front knee. We're looking for that 90-degree. Try to straighten that back leg. Hips come forward, spine is long, shoulders are dropped as we find our warrior one. Finding our breath. Let's take one more deep breath here before opening up into warrior two. So again, checking our hands, our knees pressing away from the body, trying to find that nice length in the spine. Dropping backhand onto the leg, turning that front wrist over as we reverse it here. So again, my core, it's important that I have some core engagement there. So I'm keeping my body safe. I want to drop any tension in my neck before taking my hands up to the front of the mat. Stepping back into my version and making your way back into child pose or up dog. And we're just being kind to wherever the body is today. Every day is different. So let's all walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Hang out here just for a beat. Before lifting up with an in-breath, find that half lift. Exhale, rolling down. Let's breathe in here. Maybe there's a little bit more space in that back bend before making our way back to our heart center. Well, that's warmed me up. So from here, we're going to find a chair pose. So let's again realign our bodies, open up our toes so they can support us with our foundation, a nice bend in the knees, reaching forward or wherever your shoulders can take you as we open those sit bones to the back of the room. So we're trying to pull navel back towards spine here, dropping tension in the shoulders. Let's keep our gaze nice and soft here. And we can just play with what feels good for you here. Can we find a little bit more depth with the breath? Trying to keep those knees about hip width apart. Breathing, deepening. Don't you just love chair pose? The burning in the thighs here as we're warming them up, those legs that get us going through our day. So from here, let's just shake it out. Let that body become a bit loose, a bit fluid. So I just wanted to brush quickly on posture today. I was just listening to Joe Dispenza and he was talking about our posture can affect actually our moods and our bodies. So when we're finished the class today, we are feeling nice and toned, a bit of a strength and a bit of a stretch. Just try to maintain that integrity in your body as you move through your day. So we're coming into a Hindi squat here. So let's take our feet out nice and wide. Our knees should track with our feet. So we're attempting to come down into a Hindi squat here. So depending on where your tightness is in your body, you might find that your ankles are up, your knees might be all sorts of ways, but just if we try to find our comfortability here. So widening those feet if you need to, supporting your body if you need to. Otherwise, let's just find a little quiet moment here. And again, this is a posture we can puff out that belly, bring that breath into the posture. If this Hindi squat is not good for you or you've had enough, we can just come down into a butterfly pose here, drawing those feet together, knees out to the side, finding integrity in the spine, and then just playing there as we draw our heart center down towards the floor. So depending on where your body will take you, let's move those fleshy bits out of the way and just work our way down to where feels good for us. Forehead making its way down towards our toes. If this is too much for you, make sure the feet are away from the body so that it's a bit more comfortable. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And working our way back up. It's coming onto our backs and we'll hug those knees in towards the chest. So give yourselves a nice big hug here. And we're going to take those soles of those feet up towards the sky, just coming into a Viparita Karani. And this might be enough for you just to lengthen through those hamstrings and just play with moving the toes back out behind you. Or if you feel like you've got that flexibility, you can just come into plow. You can bend through those knees as they hug towards the ears, or straighten through the legs. Then rolling the spine down slowly, coming down onto the backs here. So let's really find that space that we've created in that lower back here. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths as we puff out the belly and prepare ourselves for our meditation. So if you've got an eye mask handy, grab that. But let's together breathe in here. Really puff out the belly so that there's no nervous energy sticking in there. And as you exhale, let everything go. Let's take 2 more big rounds like this, breathing in. It's almost like a reset for our nervous system as we start our day. Puffing it out as much as you can, creating a lot of space in the organs. Exhale as you let it go a bit more. Let's take 1 more deep breath here, breathing in, filling right up through the ribs, puffing everything out, letting go of any tension as you exhale. Now settling yourselves down, we're going to take a little mini guided meditation just to prepare us for our day. So moving through the body, getting out any last little itches or twitches. And today's meditation is about finding our authentic selves. It's one of my favorites. So let's just bring our awareness to our breath and inhale through our nose and just noticing that breath. And exhaling through our mouth. As each breath becomes longer, fuller, and slower. Every inhale draws us into the present moment. Every exhale as we release what is no longer needed. And let's feel that breath anchoring us into this moment. Breathing into the fullness of who you are. Steady and real and grounded. Now bringing your attention to your heart center. And on your inhale, feel the gentle aliveness that lives there. Warmth spreading out through your whole entire body. This is you connecting with your truth, your essence, your inner compass. And as you breathe into this space, let it open for a little more presence, a little more honesty with self, and a little more of you. And as we bring our attention to our whole body, feeling the ground beneath us, the strength and the steadiness. Notice your spine tall, your shoulders relaxed. and your jaw is soft, your facial muscles at ease. Notice your whole body open and connected. This is your natural state. And just let these words gently land. I am grounded in who I am. I trust my own rhythm. I am free to be me. Let these words settle into your body like a gentle truth. And feel what it feels like to come home to yourself in this breath, in this body, in this moment. Now just becoming aware of your body and the space around you as we bring ourselves back to the moment. Our body feels strong and energized. Our mind calm. A little moment of time with ourselves. Just bringing a little bit of movement back into your body as you make your way back into your day. Let's bring our focus or our hands to our heart center. And bowing down our heads as we honor ourselves. Wherever we are on this journey, wherever we are on this day. And thank you so much for joining me today, and have a beautiful rest of the day.